Hey, Morgan.
Let me make sure my phone.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's make sure our connections are all good and golden because I want to make sure we get everything. I don't want to miss anything. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm already ready for this week to be over. I'm tired already.
Yeah, I definitely am.
I'm exhausted. I on my way coming home from work, I was like, oh my gosh, like why is it taking so long to get to Friday? It's only Tuesday. So, but I just wanted to, first of all, I wanted to say I definitely appreciate you, taking me up on my request to have this conversation because I feel like it is definitely a conversation that needs to be had because um, you are one of many of a what I see as this booming, and I don't want to consider it a trend because trends come and go, right? I'm hoping this is something that lasts. You are a part of a booming tradition. I'll put it that way. So, um, for those who have joined us, of course, I would like for you to just give us a quick rundown, introduce yourself, and introduce your platform, your background, what it is that you are, what you stand for, and then we can go ahead and get into our conversation.
Sure. Okay. Well, my name is Morgan Sampson. Obviously, it says in the title. I'm 17. I am currently a junior at Elizabeth Seton High School. I own the DMV Market, which is an online marketplace to support, promote, and advertise the Black-owned youth and like teen and young adult businesses, basically from ages like 13 to 21. I do that through a variety of products and services, and my page. So, yeah.
So that's the quick rundown. So for those that have not had the opportunity to go to Morgan's page, the DMV Market, they have a website and it actually gives you kind of the rundown of what made you start the DMV Market. But I want you to let us know right here and right now what birthed the DMV Market.
So the birth of the DMV Market, it seems weird, but it was kind of just out of nowhere. I was just on Instagram one day with my friend. I think she wanted to find a hoodie or something. And I saw all these different like DMV brands and pages that were owned by teenagers literally just like me who were making hoodies, making clothes and all these things. And I was like, well, it's weird because if I wanted to buy a hoodie, I feel like I should be able to find one place that I can find all these amazing people. So that's how the DMV Market started. We've kind of transitioned into being more of a resource for these businesses because as I went on, that is something that I did see that there was a need for a place where business owners could come, especially that they're my age. They won't be judged for not knowing certain things, and they just can come and get the help that they need. So.
Yeah, and I think it's actually it's good that you look at it from the perspective of being a resource for people, for your peers, right? Because as much as I would love to believe that I'm in with the teens and whatnot, and they have no problem coming and chit chatting with me. At the end of the day, I also know that there's still the potential for intimidation. Feeling like, oh, well, that's a grown up. They're gonna feel like I'm stupid, or they're not gonna have faith in me, and having to be so vulnerable to an adult who probably knows it all in their mind, right? Because these kids, y'all believe that we have everything figured out when a lot of times we stumbling through lives ourselves. So we're just fortunate we don't, y'all make it through alive. But the fact that you realize that in and of itself is a commodity. Your youth, the fact that you are 17. At 17, I definitely was not thinking the way that you think. But I like that you're thinking well beyond just let me go ahead and purchase something real quick, right? You saw a need and you filled that gap. So was that something that has kind of always been a part of your mentality as far as that business savvy, that looking to fill needs, looking to fill, were you the little girl on the side of the road with a lemonade stand?
I didn't have a lemonade stand, but I did want to make a smoothie stand. And I wanted to do it myself, but I never actually did it. But when I was younger, I definitely think that's a mentality that I've always had, and that my parents did a very great job. My mom just joined of fostering that. Even like in like 5th grade, I had a fashion show of like me and my friends because I had learned how to sew. I started like a newsletter in my 4th grade classroom with like me and my little group of friends. And like, I just did all this stuff kind of out of boredom, but also because I've just always had that creative mentality in that let's start something new, let's try something new kind of vibe to me.
Yeah, and I think, and this is me speaking from, you know, a little bit older of a generation. I'm not gonna say how much older, but as a parent and somebody who at one point in my life was a 17-year-old, I know at 17 I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship or, you know, anything business minded, because that wasn't really something that my parents were big on. But what I realized is that, you know, as I grew up and I kind of went out into the business, you know, out into the professional world, I realized everybody doesn't want to work for somebody, right? And so when I had my own kids, I noticed that anytime they had like these little whims of things that, you know, well, I want to, you know, one of my friends, her daughter, she used to make little duct tape barrettes and bows and pins. You remember that when that was a big thing, right? And say, you know, and this was before Instagram was, you know, the marketplace that it is now. But we encouraged that. We encouraged her, like, as much as, no, I'm not going to run around with, you know, duct tape barrettes in my head, just to encourage that spirit, you know, in the younger generation. I think that's something that the parents of my generation are doing with y'all, is that, oh, you want to do this? Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So how do we monetize it? And how do we make it something that you can actually benefit from and not just be a hobby? So you're looking out for all of these other businesses, and you had all of these other little smaller businesses, but what made you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and be this space for businesses to come and be a resource for them? Like, what made you feel like, I'm equipped to do this, like I can do this?
Okay, so a couple months into my business, I was always like, my business started mainly doing promos and doing like, oh, okay, you know, I want to post your business. I was doing it for free. I was just having people come to my page and posting them. And then I'm talking to my parents one day, and my sister, because my sister does hair too, at Crown by Ken. Go follow her because she does.
Hey, let it be known. Let it be known.
Yeah, so my sister, I was talking to all of them, and we were having one of our brainstorm sessions. And my parents and my sister, and they were just like, how are you going to make money off of this? Because you have a vision for this, and you're okay with doing the work to figure out how to make this truly something that it's supposed to be. So how are you going to make money? How can you take this and truly make it into a whole business aspect? So I definitely believe that the grand idea of having products and having different services that actually, you know, like I just launched a service where I do a planning, because I have a planning service where like we sit for an hour and we just help you plan. So I have a planning session, and like you can get a planner with it. So that's a new bundle that I just launched. So things like that, just taking the ideas I have and turn them into money, basically. So
monetize it. I mean, that's the thing nowadays. Any little thing that you do, monetize it. You know, and I reference these things from my upbringing because I want people to understand, as well as, you know, yourself and your followers, how we've moved past just doing things just for kicks. Now the hair industry is big business. If, you know, getting appointments to get your hair done, to get, you know, quick weaves, get wigs done, all of that stuff is money. And I grew up, I had a cousin, we were like a year and a half apart, and she was literally doing people's hair for free in their homes. You know, right, just like me, like, oh, hey girl, okay, I can meet up with you after school. And I'm like, nowadays you would have thousands of dollars on what it was that she was doing. But the thing was we were almost ignorant to just how lucrative a hobby was, a passion was, because we were so set on, well, you go to school, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, and that's kind of the rhythm of everything, until we started realizing, wait a minute, you go to school and you can start a business. Wait a minute, you don't have to wait until you go to school to start a business. You can start these things now. So for you, you said that you sat down with your parents and your sister. How active of a role do your parents play? Like, you know, are they kind of, you know, keeping you focused or is it just kind of like, you go to them whenever you need something, or like, how does that work from the parental child relationship to almost business advisor relationship?
Yeah, my parents, it's weird because I'm definitely, for me, I'm the type of person, I don't want anybody to help me. I don't want any help. I want it to be done the way I'm going to do it. And that's just how it's going to be. Like, that's just how I'm wired. I don't really know why, honestly. My parents, they're very open to help me. It's just, I kind of come to them whenever I need something. If they just kind of try to help me off the cuff and be like, okay, so why did you just assume I didn't know that? Because I know it. Like, so why did you tell? It's weird, but like I do go to them more like when I need something or when I'm trying to flesh out an issue and just kind of get it out of my own head.
Yeah. So are you running the DMV market? Are you are you the only one, just Morgan on her own?
Yes.
So how do you manage that with like schoolwork? And I know things are a little bit, weird right now with COVID-19 and everything keeping us locked down. But like, how do you manage literally running a business, making sure that because anybody who is on Instagram knows you have to be consistent, right? You have to be present. You have to be active. You have to be engaging. So how do you manage that and not stay stuck to your phone all day and still have a life as a young woman, as a teenager?
I tell my CEOs all the time, y'all, go ahead and plan, use your plan, use your plan. And I use my planner, but I'm also such a creative that things come to me just sporadically. Like I'll be sitting in class and I'll be like, okay, I can make this as a post. And I'll just go back to what I'm doing. Or like sometimes I'll be making posts and I'll be like, oh, let me study for this test. And it's kind of things like that. I am getting better with using my calendar, learning time blocking and everything. Which I have learned as a big lesson a lot earlier than most people, is the importance of my time management, which my mom has always told me. And just like doing things when I'm supposed to
So
do
your
them.
parent actually helped you with something?
Yeah, she did. They helped me a little bit. They did. They popped out.
A little bit.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
using my
so
calendar.
you're using your calendar. Well, that's better than me because I go through this every year. I buy a planner and I'm like, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. But then I go through these ebbs and flows where I'm like, oh, and I'm writing everything down in there. So you have the CEOs that you work with. How do you stay on top of them, or like how do you support them as far as making sure that they are getting the best that they can possibly get out of their own individual businesses while you're still trying to build your own brand?
So the biggest way I feel as though I do that is with the posts that I make. So like I have a lot of little reminder posts. Okay, remember, just because you plan this at like the post I recently posted, I love, like, this is such a good idea. But it was like, just because you planned it at 2 a.m. doesn't mean you don't need to go back and fully plan out your idea. Like, don't forget to plan. Don't forget to. So I just have a lot of little reminder posts. So when they pop up on your feed, you take a second and you're like, okay, I've been on Instagram for 2 hours. Let me go take a second and go plan this out. And then also with a lot of my posts, I'm like, okay, if you need help planning, if you have any questions, I'm not always charging for everything. If you have a question and you just want to figure this out, DM me and we can talk about it. Like anything like that. And then, selling my planners, having my planners with space so that you can write notes, you can put a to-do list, you can go with the actual days of the year, and things like that. So definitely the CEOs I work with, and then like once you have a planning session with me, I'm gonna be on your page seeing if you do what you said you were gonna do. Like I'm gonna be, commenting on your story. Okay, so this is cute. This is cute. We love her. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. So things like that. Yeah.
So you're not just one, because I haven't had to use any of them, or I haven't used any of them, but I know some people tell they talk about like different influencers or whatever that they'll use to help them build and to enlighten them along their own journey. And they'll say, well, yeah, I had a conversation with her, or I had a conversation with him, and I haven't talked to them. I haven't, interacted with them in a month. And I'm just like, how is it possible for them to be able to actually, in essence, mentor you and not be present, not be active? They have no idea. Like, if this is where you started, shouldn't they be walking alongside you? So like, I appreciate the fact that here you are as a 17-year-old recognizing that you can't just say, oh, hey, I helped you. Here's your planner. Godspeed. Go.
Yeah.
But do you ever get those clients where they say they want the help, but then it's kind of, oh, well, you know, you give them all the pointers, but then they don't follow through. You get
Yeah,
those?
I'm definitely that client for myself as well, because I
Oh.
would be like, Morgan, come on, girl, like you gotta post, and I'd be like, okay, let me post, like I'm gonna, and I'll be posting like 20 minutes after my time, and I'm like, Morgan, like these insights, babe, like you have to do this. But I mean, I do have some clients. I have had like 1 or 2 clients like that where we've had the planning session, we walked through everything, and then it's just kind of like nothing else happened. So I mean, at that point, I also am one of those people that like, I want to help you so bad. Like, just let me help you. So it's just like, if we have the planning session, I give you all the tips you need. I let you know that I am open to talk to you anytime if you need help. And I'm open if you want to plan a whole nother session or something, that I'm open to that. And you decide that that's not something that you don't feel like your business is that much of a priority to do that, then I can't push you. Like, I can't make you feel like this is as important as it needs to be, if that makes any sense. So.
No, it makes complete sense. I think you and I function from the same vein, and it's hard whenever you see so much potential, and you're like, oh, this could be great, or you can be great, and you want to go and give them everything. But the reality is like, once you give them the tools, they have to be the ones willing to use it, and it's heartbreaking, right? Because you're like, oh, this could be so much better than what you're doing, and they fail themselves, you know. And it's almost like you kind of take it. I don't want to say take it. Well, not.
It's a little personal, but like not, you know.
Yeah. But it's not personal in the aspect of, oh, what did I do wrong? It's that you're invested in it, right? And you want them to do better. So like, I helped you, but you're not doing the things for you to actually reach your full potential. So you kind of you're disappointed. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, the disappointment hurts. So you have these planners, right?
Yes.
That's the latest thing. Do you happen to have any on you, like available right now?
I do. My dad just brought one downstairs.
Oh, okay, Dad.
Yeah. So this is my planner. I designed it myself. That's my logo. I designed that too. And basically, so the first page is like, those who fail to plan to fail. And then, so it just goes through. So we have at the beginning, you have like, you know, put your goals. That's the other thing that I emphasize on my page, because I wasn't really like, at my age, I don't really write out my goals because I don't like journal or anything. So I did put that in the planner just so that, you know, every time you open it up to write something down, you can go back and say, okay, this is what I wanted to do for the year. Am I keeping up with that? And then I also have a quarterly budget thing. So just if people wanted to add their expenses, and then if they want to add, you know, how much they're making, just to keep track of certain things like that. Because also kids my age, a lot of them don't know how to manage their money. And I haven't done enough research on that to completely tell them what to do. So I'm like, let me just give you the page. And then, you know, I started with the month of January. It's basically how all the months look. And then it gives you weekly to-do lists. So a place to just put a to-do list for each week, you know, I put 5 weeks for each one, because, you know, some have 31st or whatever. And yeah, and then it also gives you a notes page just to add extra notes. Because the one thing that I found with planners is I would want to write more, and I just didn't have the space to do that. They would give me like one little notes page in the back, and I write big. So I just wanted to make sure that people who bought my planner had space to write out everything they wanted to in one place, that they couldn't lose it. And it's very small, fits good inside of purses and backpacks and things like that. So, yeah.
So the planners that you have are, is it only part of a bundle of services, or is it something that, you know, people can buy, you know, a la carte, or what? Like, is it, you know, are they available?
No, definitely. So the planner, you can buy the planner on its own for only, I think it's $15. Yeah, the planner's $15. And then if you want to do the bundle with the planner and the planning session, then those together are $40. If you just want to do the planning session, that's only $35. So, yeah.
Okay. So you seem to have, well, first things first. So for those that are paying attention and listening, if you are open to giving some assistance when it comes to financial management, please make sure you reach out to Morgan so you can, you know, give her a little bit of guidance so she can help her own clients.
Yes.
But the other thing is, you honestly, like, you seem to have like a lot of it organized and structured. You seem to have it together. Even looking at your page, it's very organized. You're extremely consistent, but there has to be some pitfalls. Like what are the struggles that you have to go through in order to, to be, this owner of the DMV Market?
I would say one of my biggest struggles myself, and the reason why I push it on my CEO so hard, is planning ahead. I'm a planner. Like, I can figure out, if I want to do something tomorrow, I can figure out how to do it today, and it'll look good tomorrow. Like, don't get it twisted. Even though it's last minute, it's still gonna look good.
All right, then. Okay.
But I do have an issue with planning ahead. Like, figuring out, okay, so this right now it is March 9th. What do I want to do April 9th? What do I want to do in June, and months ahead like that? So yeah, that is something I try to push to other people because I know it's a problem I have with myself. And also just fully planning when I do things, because I do think of things, off the late night a lot. I'll be sitting up in my bed at like midnight and I'll be like, oh, I just had the best idea. And I'll like plan it all out. I'll be like, wait a minute, are these realistic steps? Do we have a realistic timeline? Things like that. So.
Okay. So so what you're saying is your short game is pretty good. Your long game needs a little bit of work. I think that's a lot of it, because whenever you think out, it's like it's so far, right? So, I can get to that when I get to it, and trying to figure out how does today play into, April 9th, October 9th, like how does today play into all of that? So having to break these massive, this long journey down into smaller chunks of time, I think that's, something that's difficult for everybody. So I don't feel like you're alone, because I feel like it is one of the things that I struggle with, and my ideas will come to me at the most inopportune moment. So I have to have like my phone and my notes open when I'm brushing my teeth, because I feel like that's the only time I'm quiet. So my brain can start going, and the next thing you know, I have all of these ideas. So I'm sitting there trying to brush my teeth and typing down whatever notes it is that's popping up in my head, so I can transfer it into my actual planner later on if I use it, and turn it into actual, actual steps for my vision. So you have the DMV Market. I noticed on the website you have a list of so many different companies and so many different organizations, and services on your page. Do you have like links for any of the ones who actually have websites, or link them to their Instagram page so people can actually engage them directly?
Right. So that is, I am planning in next month to just rework my website a little bit, because I did make that a while, like when I first started. I am planning to add just, linking their Instagram pages to their names in the Black Business Encyclopedia. That's what it was called. So yeah, I do have their Instagram pages and anything. So if there's a specific business you were wondering about, most of their Instagrams are just their business names, which is why at first I had just left it as that. But I am planning to go back and just, link everything, because I know it can be a little difficult if you're looking at the website to try to go to Instagram and like find their name. So
no, but I do think it is a great idea, and I love the presentation of it, where you have them sectioned off in their different categories. So if there is something that, if I'm looking for lashes, I know exactly where to go. If I'm looking for, food service, I know exactly where to go, like, because you have it out in the individual sections. So right now, like I said, you seem to be doing pretty good, honestly, considering the fact that this is, how old is this? Is just since the pandemic, or?
Yeah, so my business, I launched my page on March 30th. So my 1 year is coming up. I'm doing a 1 year celebration on my page. If anybody's interested in going to look at it,
celebrate
all that stuff. Yes, it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
Okay. So that's 1 year in. In 1 year, I feel like you've accomplished a lot in 1 year to organize and set a plan for yourself and recognize what value you can bring into this niche, right? So what's the ultimate, like, I know you don't like looking, to April or May or June, but for, if somebody was to say, okay, Morgan, you can write it down right now, whatever it is that you write down for your business, for your brand, it'll happen. What would you write down?
For my brand, I've always thought of my brand as like two entities kind of put together. So there's the one side of my brand where like very far in the future, I've kind of wanted to have like the same way that they have the Made in DC. I've kind of wanted to have like the DMV Market, either like pop up or do like have like kind of a storefront where I'm selling these teen businesses their items in store. Also on the other side, I kind of want to use my business kind of as my like foundation for when I get older. I do want to become a social media marketing kind of executive. So kind of using that as the foundation for a future social media marketing firm.
You building that resume already. Building that resume.
Yeah. And also, what else? And there's another thing. Oh, just keeping the DMV Market as it is a place for people just to be able to come and learn and, just make their business better. Having teenagers be able to run their business successfully and using it successfully so that they're becoming better and other people are becoming better through them.
So what stage of the game are you jumping in at? Are you open to the individuals who have a concept, have an idea, and they know what business they want, but they don't know how to become a business? Or do you need somebody who has already established themselves as a business and you're just trying to help them grow?
No, I'm definitely open to both. I've partnered with both kinds of people who just kind of had an idea. I want to start a business. These are things I'm passionate. I've even helped some of my friends who are just kind of like, I want to start a business because I know I'd be good at it, but like, I don't know what I should do. I feel like everybody does this, everybody does that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, just helping them flesh out their ideas, helping them figure out the accurate steps of what they should be doing, which I've learned through the steps of what I did, and also realizing what steps I did wrong so that I can help other people. So people who, to answer your question more accurately, people who are just starting their business or have a business idea, and also people who have more well-established business and just want to know where to go from there.
Okay. So I know, and you have lives every so often. I'm not stalking you. I'm just, I'm observing. But you give out a lot of information. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But I noticed on your lives, you tend to give out a lot of information, a lot of useful and helpful information to your followers and the people that are tuning in. Are there certain individuals on social media that inspire you or that you kind of emulate? You don't have to give names if you don't want to, but where do you glean what it is that you put out to everybody else? Where do you get everything from? I know you said that you use some of your own trial and error as a businesswoman, but is there somewhere else where you're pulling stuff from since you don't want to listen to your mama and daddy because you want to do it on your own?
I do get a lot of my information directly from different marketing schools and marketing businesses. Like with my marketing ebook that I do have on my page, I got a lot of my information from different marketing websites and marketing books and things like that. I do like as far as my content goes and like finding different ways for different content, I do follow Simone Little. She's like a virtual assistant, but I did learn a lot about putting out content to like in the beginning to help my followers know that yes, you can come to me because I do know what I'm talking about, because that's the way I felt following her. So I was like, okay, so this is something that I need to do lives where I'm giving out information for free so that when you come to book me, you understand that booking my service is not just getting information, it's getting information personalized to your situation and to your business so that you can be the best for you and stay on brand for you, not just information that's good for everybody.
Okay. And so I have two teenage daughters who are in high school right now. And I was thinking about it today, and I know, they have business classes, marketing classes, courses in high school. But I'm wondering, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with it at all, if you've taken the classes, but do you feel like the classes that they offer in high school actually are actually tailored to or actually make sense for the way that today's business market is running. Because nowadays, a lot of business, like when I was growing up, it was all about a commercial on television, right? Excuse me. That's not how it is now. Now, pretty much everything is social media driven. And I'm wondering how much of that do they actually teach in these business and marketing classes in high school right now?
So I don't currently take a business or marketing class at my school. I feel like the education system in America, the way that you're taught, it depends on the school you go to, honestly. Because if you just go to a regular carbon copy public school, you're not going to know what you need to know because you're not taking these classes that are personalized for you and for the things that you want to do, like moving forward. If you're going to a school that has a business program or that has these marketing and business classes that you can take, you're going to have a little bit of a different experience and you'll probably be more well prepared. For example, my school has what's the program? It's, I can't even remember, but my friend is in it. And it's basically a program where she's learning about tourism and working in the, like
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Yes, that's the word. She's learning about being in the tourism industry and things like that. Sorry, hold on. My mom is giving me a note. Anyway, so she's learning about hospitality, working in the tourism industry and things like that. So if you were to be in that program and tourism is a business you would want to start, then that's a program you should join because it depends on the school it just depends on the school you're going to, honestly, how well you're going to be prepared for the certain things that you kind of want to do.
Yeah, I find a really hard time believing that as fast paced as social media goes, that public school systems have been able to keep up with it. I have strong reservations to believe that. So I think it's great that you're actually using the resources that you have at your hand. I'm constantly telling my kids, I'm like, why are you asking me? Go ask Google. Why are you asking me? Go ask YouTube. Because the reality is odds are whatever information I'm going to give you is probably dated because everything goes so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you are, using, you're accessing the what's today, what's now, to be able to pass that on to your clients, to your CEOs, I think is awesome. So I just, like I said, I saw you come across my feed and I was like, I have to talk to this young lady because I think this is something that our next generation is doing so much better with than what we did. Recognizing that, having a boss mentality isn't just a slang term, right? You can have a boss mentality and actually be a boss, actually run your own company, run your own business. And yes, y'all need to go to school. I ain't telling y'all not to go to school. What I am saying,
go to school, do both.
Exactly. You can do it. You can do it all. You can have it all. It's just going to take you making sure that you prioritize your stuff, making sure that you use resources like Morgan and the DMV Market to help build your business, to build your brand while you're still taking care of other things in life that need to be taken care of. But I just wanted to say I thoroughly appreciate what you are doing. I think it is great. Not only the services that you're providing, but also being 17 years old and having your own business and going after something that you felt like, you know what, this is a need. I can feel it. I can do this. And you're doing it because one of the biggest things that we can do is invest in ourselves. And you're learning that at the age of 17. Some of us didn't pay attention to that until we were in our 20s, 30s, 40s. And, it's never too late, but the sooner the better. So I genuinely appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to your mom and dad for raising you this way, whether you want to say it or not. But here is a moment. I want you to go ahead, just, again, for people who, joined in a little bit later, let us know who you are, what you do, what you stand for. And if there's anything else that you want to put out there to let the world know about, let it be known.
Okay. Well, I put my Instagram in the chat. There you go. So you guys can go follow me, stay up to date on whatever I'm doing today. And so the DMV Market, once again, is an online marketplace to support, promote, and advertise the teen and young adult owned Black owned businesses of the DMV. I exclusively work with people in the DMV, mainly ages like 12, 13 to 21. I do that through different services. I'm going to say sessions, services and products just to help you make your business the best that it can be. I am selling planners now that are made specifically for fast-paced, on the go, I lose everything CEOs. Also, my parents wanted to, I'm doing, make sure that you are doing other things, outside of your business. Make sure that you are taking breaks. I just recently took a mental health break from my business for like a week because I just needed to sleep. And, use your resources. I'm a resource. Use me. Invest in your business. If it's your passion, do it. What else? What other one-liners do I have? Do you pop off? Have a great day. And
you have a lot of great one-liners on your page. So please, if you are watching this, go to the DMV Market, check out Morgan's page. And if there are any teens or youths who are watching this and you feel like you have some sort of vision that you want to, brought to fruition, reach out to Morgan. And if you are a fully established adult business and you feel like you can give any sort of assistance to Morgan, reach out to her as well. This is not just for the teens. This is for the culture, people. So let's get it together. Again, Morgan, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time this evening to talk to me. And I'm sure this is not going to be our last conversation.
I hope not. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.